just when you think it cannot get any more gross, just when you think there is nothing sacred that Meghan Markle has not yet used in her grey, craven desire for publicity and for sales, she goes and does this. The fake Duchess using Princess Diana's birthday to launch her new wine range. And even briefing to her favourite Hello magazine that this is some type of sick tribute to the late Princess of Wales. Look at this. Meghan Markle continuing to make bold moves ahead of what would have been Princess Diana's birthday with a meaningful announcement of her own. The Duchess of Sussex quietly revealed a fresh launch date for her sold-out lifestyle brand as ever, surprising fans with the news that the next drop of her highly coveted Napa Valley Rosé will go live on none other than what would have been Diana's 64th birthday next week on July the 1st. The announcement came with a sun-drenched image of a bottle of the wine, elegantly styled poolside. The date is a poignant one for Meghan, who has spoken openly about the emotional connection she feels with her late mother-in-law, describing her as someone I wish I'd had the chance to know. Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, this is sick, this is twisted, and unfortunately it's what we've come to expect. How on earth can this woman believe that it is appropriate for a single second to use Diana's birthday to punt out her shitty rosé wine as if this is some type of tribute? This is twisted.
Yeah, I mean, it made me feel sick. It
Yes.
really did. I really did. One, because she doesn't know her. Secondly, which is interesting, was that she's complaining about Harry always going, backwards. And there she is doing exactly the same, but she can because she's an amazing woman providing us, the world, with wonderful goods. And I just can't believe it. The other thing is that she's keeping Harry close to know, remember about his mother, to think about his mother, to do all these things about his mother. Obviously, it's a very good thing if he thinks occasionally, but it shouldn't be pounded into her by his wife so that she makes a lot of money on that. I think it's absolutely disgusting. And Hello magazine, which is doing this, which you did read, oh, she so much wishes she had a chance to know her. I don't know how any magazine can actually take that. Diana was a wonderful woman, but she has died a long time ago, but you don't want some snippet, some nasty lying person to actually use her to sell things and to make more money.
It's vulgar. It is utterly vulgar. It is utterly vile. And I almost start to think, Angela Levin, is this just Meghan purposefully trying to upset Prince William? Because she knows, and Harry knows, and by the way, Harry should have stepped in here and said, absolutely not, you crazy woman. Absolutely not. Delay it. Do it in 2 days' time. It makes no difference. Absolutely not. So he's a weak, pathetic man for allowing this madness to go on. But do you think maybe she's purposefully trying to upset William? Because William has decided that these anniversaries should now be marked privately, that there shouldn't even be any type of public commemoration, let alone someone flogging a crappy product off the back of his late mum.
Well, William actually said 1 year after Princess Diana had died that he doesn't want any more talking about it. He doesn't want her to be drawn into anything that anybody else is doing. And he spoke to the journalists and he actually made it very clear that he didn't want that. And Harry agreed with him. So, Meghan, of course, wouldn't listen. I mean, she might not have been there, so that's, something. But it is so disgusting. It's so revolting. And Harry jolly well should have said something like, look, I know you feel that you're very close to my mother, but don't try and sell your wine on the same day. Ah, dear. I mean, makes you scream with anger at her. It shows what she's like, doesn't it? You can never say, well, I made a bit of a mistake. She's this sort of person, or she doesn't know that, or she's not aware of how royal family lives, because it's not going to be very common. You can't make an excuse for her for this. You just cannot. It's the most unnecessary, heartless, spiteful, nasty thing to do.
Big news. Outspoken is now available as a podcast too. So please do subscribe wherever you get yours, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may. And she knows exactly what she's doing. I mean, the thing is, Angela, when you think about this...
She's for that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because...
Everything is...
Sorry, you go.
Everything is very carefully detailed. She knows all these things. She's been meticulous with that for a long time, to get it right, to hit the right person, to tell them how good she is. All these things are done. And, if somebody wants to talk to her, she tells them what they have to say. I mean, she's in control. But just look, oh, gosh, how ghastly she is. Sorry,
but Angela, she's got a track... Well, I was just going to say she's got a track record, though, too, of using Diana and emotionally manipulating Prince Harry, right down to things like, oh, your mum was with me at the yoga class this morning. She's so happy that we've come to London for this event. I mean, it's highly manipulative stuff when you already have a very, very mentally unwell, psychologically damaged husband.
Yes, it is, isn't it? And the fact that she does that perhaps is to keep him close to her, and he feels therefore he's also close to his mother. And she did say when they got engaged and they had that interview, Meghan kept saying, oh, she can feel her. I can feel that she's looking down on us. And Harry just believed the lot. What a dope, actually, really. Somebody did anything similar to me and said, get out, how dare you? Harry should say that. How dare you? How dare she?
I mean, of course he should, but he won't. And Angela, the whole problem is this as ever relaunch is just spin. Okay, so let me take you through the spin that Meghan has put out to In Style magazine. So they're saying this is an exclusive. Meghan Markle's brand sells out inventory again. The company has experienced success beyond what we anticipated. They summed up the gist of it by saying, for the first time, Meghan Markle's lifestyle brand as ever is exclusively sharing metrics about how the business is doing following its second product drop. Despite increasing inventory drastically by 10 times to be exact, the 8 products offered Friday still sold out within 4 hours. Next up, the brand's newest product, as ever, Napa Valley Rosé, which will be available on July the 1st. And this is one of these total puff pieces, Angela, just spin. But I will take you through some of it, because they say that as ever is sharing metrics on how the business is doing, and told InStyle exclusively that the response to this collection has been truly overwhelming and beyond what we anticipated, even with the increased production capacity. InStyle understands the brand increased its inventory nearly 10 times out of the first collection, which sold out its 8 product offerings in just 45 minutes. This time around, for the June 20th drop, there was a 2-time increase in site traffic compared to the first collection, and all of the products released on Friday sold out within 4 hours. A spokesperson for As Ever, so translation Meghan herself, said, while we did significantly scale up quantities, the demand has consistently outpaced our projections. This is both exciting and challenging. We're continuing to work with our partners to find the right balance between maintaining our quality standards and meeting the desire for As Ever products. Now, according to Taz on this, just said, oh, come on. It's total bullshit. She has used the same trick as last time. She sold out because she didn't have many products. Another jam scam in true Meghan style. She's just blowing her own trumpet for achieving very little. And I think that's where we're at, Angela, because this strategy was all about her denying that she's going for the scarcity strategy. And she admitted to Tina Knowles, remember we sat through that dire podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. She admitted to Tina Knowles that it would be a failure if the product sold out so quickly this time. But yet she's repeated the same strategy, a scarcity strategy, expecting us to buy into this rubbish.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that completely. Because if you've sold out anything, which I don't believe in the first place, I think the numbers were much lower than actually they've said on the first lot. Now, the second lot, you should actually get loads of them, absolutely loads, because you want to keep selling. But she doesn't. She wants to actually say how wonderful she is that she has sold them, when I don't believe a word of it. I don't think that people would rush for it. And the criticisms have been enormous. So I don't think that they would say to their friends or anybody saying, oh, it's really good, you must get it. Absolutely the opposite. And actually you can believe that much more than you can believe her. The thing is, you can't really believe Meghan at all. But for her to say that she's doing exactly the same thing for a few more is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I think she's bored. I think she's had enough of actually getting people to work quite hard and to package it and do that. She likes to do the packaging. I think it's vitally important. So she does all this, but I think she's very bored with it now. Like everything, she wants to do things for a short time, then go away and do something else. And if it does take a lot of work, and we've heard from people talking about making food and selling it, you have to really work hard night and day to get it done. Well, she probably does it like she deals with giving money for charity. She does that about once a week for half an hour or an hour. And this is the same thing. She doesn't want to really work hard. She's not going to do that. She didn't want to really work hard when she was at Buckingham Palace, because that's not what she wanted. And certainly not if she didn't get paid for it. And it's all about just doing these things and then going off and doing something else. They don't last. She's not really anybody, a businesswoman, not at all, because a businesswoman works very hard, day after day and night after night to get their company or whatever it is going. But Meghan, if it doesn't work, she makes an excuse that, it's done so phenomenally well, I can't believe it, and go on to something else.
But first, these days, we're living through economic whiplash, soaring prices, vanishing savings, and headlines that seem designed to confuse more than inform. Now, we're told this is all normal, right? That history's been rewritten for our own good and that embracing these changes is the only path forward. But every outlet tells a different version of reality, and the so-called fact checkers are just enforcing the approved narrative. Luckily, there's a solution. It's ground news, hands down, the easiest way to stay informed. It cuts through all the bias and spin so you can actually see what's going on and make up your mind. I have it on my phone and in my bookmarks online because it's become so essential to my daily life. And I want you to see for yourself at ground.news/outspoken. Oh, by the way, huge discount for you today, which I'll tell you about in just one moment. But first, I want to show you this incredible website and app in action. So we're going to use that story of Donald Trump agreeing to cut tariffs on UK auto, steel and aluminium, or aluminum, if we're talking from an American point of view, as part of a trade deal with Britain, one that could reshape global trade and has sparked debate on both sides of the political aisle. And you can see clearly in one place, over 500 sources covering this story. But what Ground News does is then instantly show how the story is being covered by the media, broken down by whether it leans left or right, the bias distribution chart it is called, and I love it. Then if you scroll down, you can see every headline about the story, along with the political bias and ownership of the publication. Now, in this case, most of the coverage is from political outlets in the centre, but here's where it gets interesting. 49% of the sources come from outlets owned by giant media conglomerates, so no wonder the narratives feel so coordinated. When looking at the headlines, the left covered the story with skepticism. Wired fixated on the struggling reputation of Jaguar and framed the deal as a potential way to resurrect the brand. Bloomberg chose vague language, calling it a framework, which subtly questions whether the deal is even real. But the coverage on the right-leaning outlets, far more confident, with GB News celebrating a major victory for UK auto manufacturers, and the New York Sun calling it a full and comprehensive trade deal that strengthens US-UK ties. Now, my favourite feature of Ground News is the blind spot feed. This services upwards of 20 stories daily that receive the majority of coverage from one side of the political spectrum. If you love the news like I do, the blind spot feed is the best way to get a balanced perspective on what is happening. Go to ground.news/outspoken or just scan the QR code if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, and you will get 40% off the same Vantage plan I use for unlimited access. So that's ground.news/outspoken for 40% off. But now, back to the show. Angela